Well, with this whole Russell Brand allegations and the latest saga dominating the mainstream media, I thought I'd give you guys my thoughts on the issue and the whole concept in a more objective way. There are a lot of people out there going with their own emotional biases, guesswork, theories, and political tribal nonsense, but I'll try not to do that in this video. Hello everybody, welcome to Tousi TV. We are back in London, as you can see, and as I was away for a couple of days in Istanbul, which I'm never going to go back to for various reasons, so much has happened. Russell Brand allegations have come out in the newspapers, then Channel 4 did a some sort of documentary-ish, well, I don't know, some sort of report on it, and but they've been working on it for a few years, apparently. So a lot of people with a lot of heavy opinions on social media over the last day or two. And this is actually, obviously, we're going to talk about Russell Brand himself, but most of it is actually about the concept. I want to talk about this whole concept of allegations and celebrities and the public court of opinion versus the actual legal court and everything else. So, first things first. There are those who have already made up their mind. Those who really like Russell Brand are already denying everything, and those who really dislike Russell Brand saying he's definitely the devil. So that's already happening. Now, any allegations against anybody must be taken seriously. We know that. That's number one. Number two, use the police and courts and legal judges. That's the second part. And there are those who would say, well, sometimes it's difficult to prove in the legal court. I'm like, yes, that's a whole different problem when we can address this as society overall, perhaps, but doesn't mean you have to go through different routes if they are not morally right. Now, some are the supporters of Russell Brand are saying this is the Matrix, this is the media hit job and everything else. Now, there's definitely an element of media work, and we know that, media operation against it. But those who have already made up their mind that it's definitely the Matrix, and they're doing it because Russell Brand since 2020 went against lockdown and everything else, health mandates, and since then exposing the establishment, and he got big. And some who are saying he's just the devil, nothing to do with the Matrix and the media, done. So ignore all that, because at this point, all I want to talk about is what's actually happened. So these allegations and the investigation that they're talking about started in 2018, 2019, before Russell Brand turned into this new Russell Brand that we've known since 2020. He was always the left-wing anti-establishment figure. Now he's non-woke left-wing anti-establishment figure who wants a revolution. And he would say certain things that I would agree with. He would say other things that I would disagree with. But he's a big influence, and he's trying his best to expose a lot of things. But this whole thing apparently started before this Russell Brand. So technically we can't say the initiation of the investigation was because he went against Fauci, for example. But still, considering the way the media operation is working against him now, it seems like there might be an element of that make it even bigger than before. But as I said, doesn't really go against the fact that you have to still take all allegations seriously at the same time, innocent until proven guilty. So this is the problem. So this is the latest tribal war. Everything these days turns into like a football tribal war sort of thing. You have to be team this or team that. Team red, team blue, Puritan this, Puritan that. And there's no nuance, there's no middle ground, there's no just civility anymore. There are two extreme sides, the loud minority who are basically dominating the whole debate, the public forum, while a lot of sane people are just sitting back and waiting for it to see what happens. That's the reality of the situation. Now, presume innocence. Always presume innocence. So that should be obvious. That's common sense. But don't deny allegations. That's the whole issue. So there is one side. Now, I'm talking about two specific sides. There are no number of sides. There's also the middle ground common sense side. But there are those who say, because we are going to defend Russell Brand, saying obviously innocent until proven guilty, rightly so, then they come across as they are denying the allegations completely. Presume innocence while hearing it out, right? By the way, as I said at the beginning of the video, go to the police and legal courts. That's the best route, rather than a media hit job. Now, we're just saying as a concept, I'm not talking about Russell Brand himself, I'm talking about anybody who gets these allegations, face these allegations. Now, the other side say, listen to all women, believe all women, right? The idea is hear them out. Those who are accusing somebody, hear them out, but don't blindly accept it as truth. So believe all women, they say believe all women. It should be changed into hear all women out, listen to them. So believe without evidence, that's also a little bit extreme. So what they should do, the other side, is hear them out and don't fully deny it, but don't blindly accept it without any evidence. So this is actually the tweet that Carl Benjamin, or Sargon of Akkad back in the day, from Lotus Eaters actually said earlier, say, in my opinion, Russell Brand probably does have some skeletons in his closet. However, I am sick of trial by media because it's nothing more than a lynching. Why should they have such power? If Brand committed a crime, go to the police. Until he's convicted, I don't want to hear about it. So that's the whole thing. Take allegations seriously, but don't deny the allegations, hear them out. At the same time, innocent until proven guilty, use the legal routes. Now, there are those who would say, again, as I said earlier, well, sometimes it's hard to prove with evidence, but that's a whole different problem. Just because it's hard to prove doesn't mean you have to cancel that person, because if hypothetically, this Russell Brand is guilty, and you can't do it in the legal court, so you have to cancel him, right? Hypothetically. Just because once you did it the right way, or you happen to go after the right villain, you are opening a can of worms to chaos, bad precedents, so that the next time, the next 2-3 times, the next 2-3 targets might not be the bad villain Russell Brand, but you're going to use the same tactic because you say, well, we don't have enough evidence to go to legal court and the police, right? So we're going to have to cancel them societally using media and social media. Because one time we tried with a bad villain Russell Brand, so we're just going to go on after anybody else. And some innocent people will be completely destroyed. So this is a slippery slope situation that I'm scared of. But there is also, again, as I say, I have a problem with the two extreme sides, the tribal side. Those who are going with just their emotional biases. So there are some people on this side and that side who are simply defending or attacking the individual, like Russell Brand, based on whether they like them or dislike them. So you have to put yourself, hypothetically, if you are a Russell Brand lover because he's a truth seeker, whatever, put yourself, change his name and the person into Hunter Biden. Imagine tomorrow, newspapers start an allegation story and Channel 4 does a documentary report somehow, let's just say it's going to happen, on Hunter Biden. Now those who are against the Hunter Biden, are you still going to be defending Hunter Biden like the way you defended Russell Brand? Or are you going to say, like what a lot of people did with Clinton, saying, well, smoke without fire, Bill Clinton, definitely this, definitely that, because we've heard some people accusing him, some women, right? And vice versa. Those who are attacking Russell Brand because they don't like him, saying he's definitely guilty, are they going to do the same thing if tomorrow it's going to be Barack Obama being accused? Are they still going to be attacking Barack Obama because believe all women, right? So that's the thing. I try my best to be objective, and I'm simply reporting what's happened so far. I'm giving my thoughts. I'm not going to talk about any of this anymore until we have some sort of development, because it's not right to add to the fuel. We don't know where this is going. And as Carl Benjamin said, definitely probably has some skeletons in the closet, but you have to focus on what's actually happening in a legal way, using legal routes. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. It's still a very divisive topic, and you might agree or not agree with my opinions on this in this video, but it's fine. We can share discussions and everything else. Let me know in the comment section. I'm Tousi, and we are the media.